welcome to my Flosstube channel. I am Elin and this is the second episode of Elin Stitches. So in the first episode of this Flosstube, I told you a bit about myself, and as I said then, I am 28 years old and I am from Sweden. I also told you about how I started cross-stitching, what got me into this hobby, and also how I got my first project and where the journey has taken me since. So if you're interested in hearing about that, I recommend that you check out my first Flosstube episode. And of course, in the last episode, I also showed you my whips. And this will be a continuation of that. And if you've seen my first episode, you know that I don't have many whips at all, actually. I have 4. And I still have 4, but since the last episode, I have finished one project and started a new one. So this will be shown in the episode. Apart from telling you about my whips, in this episode, I will, of course, show you the finished project that I did, and that is also an FFO. And then we will go into the whips, and I will show you that. And then I will talk a bit about my plans for December and the rest of the year, which it's crazy that we're almost in 2026. Yeah, I know, the time flies, right? And after I've told you about my plans, I will show you 3 cross-stitch books that I have. And those books are, 2 books are Swedish, and one book is, it's still in Swedish, but it's a translation of an English cross-stitch book. Cross-stitch book. Yes, it's hard with the language sometimes, but whatever. I will do a little flip through of those books and show you the pictures of the patterns that are in them. So if you're interested in that, please watch further. So, going into the fun stuff, I guess, and not the introduction anymore. I have an FFO. And in the last episode, I showed you a small pattern that I had just started. And this pattern I got secondhand. I was in a secondhand store and looked for cross-stitch and embroidery stuff, and they had a box of patterns, and I bought everything they had. And among those patterns that I bought was this one. So it's called 4016 Kitchen Closed by Designs for the Needle, and it's done on 14 count white Aida, and I started this the 3rd of October. And I fully finished it on the 19th of October. I actually don't know the date that I finished it, but it was probably around the 18th or something. I fully finished it quite soon after I finished it. Lots of the word finish in this sentence, but yes. So here is the project. So it says, kitchen closed, due to illness, I'm sick of cooking. And I think that's so funny. And I have also put in my initials in the corner and the year that I have finished this one. So it's a pretty small, cutesy pattern, and it was actually fun to stitch. I especially liked stitching the flower pots, and also the letters were fun. I don't really know how I felt about the border, but yeah. And in this pattern there are also French knots, and I don't know if it's close enough for you to see them, but I will try to hold this still. It's French knots down here, the little red dots, and also up here. So yeah, this project is actually the first project that I have done French knots on. So that was a bit of a challenge. I think I watched a lot of tutorials to try to get the hang of it, and I had to, like, yeah, some of them I didn't get so happy with, but yeah, it is what it is. And like the last two ones that I did were the ones that I liked the most, so I guess you can say practice make perfect. Yeah, so this is the little cute finish that I have, and the frame were included in the kit. This was a kit, and this little painting is standing in my kitchen. Yeah, so that's that. I will put it down now. So in the last episode I told you that my focus would be Extraordinary Birds by Lola Crow, because I really want to finish that project. The Sal is finished, but I'm not. I have done, like, currently in the pattern where I'm at right now, I have done about 70%. So I told you that that would be my focus. I did not actually follow my own plan, because I don't follow plans. Yeah, so I have actually worked on all my projects, but Extraordinary Birds is the one that I have worked on the most, I think. So going into whips, the first whip that I have to show you is a bookmark. I will come back to Extraordinary Birds later. It's a bookmark, and it's called Winter Villages by Vervaco, and it's done on 14 count white Aida. And in the last episode I showed you this, but I don't think that I put in the name, because I didn't know the pattern actually had a name, because it does not say on the packaging that Winter Villages is the name. It just shows like a code. But yeah, the pattern is called Winter Villages. So, and also, in the last episode I did not take pictures of where I was at the project. So I will have to put up pictures from the video to show you where I was, and so you can compare to where I'm at now. Yeah, so this is the bookmark. I hope the camera focuses. I cannot see actually, but yeah. So I have done about half, I think. And the thing that I have been working on since you last saw it is to fill in this blue part here. And also it was like some confetti stitching, like the white snowfall. I also had to get filled in. So that was actually my goal for this one, was to finish like the whole half. Yeah, so we'll see if I pick this up again in the near future. It's not that big, but I find it full coverage is, because this is full coverage, and I find full coverage a bit challenging, and I don't really know why, or maybe I do. I think it it's very beautiful when it's finished, but I like to see what I'm stitching. Like it's much more fun for me if I can do a little motive and then I see the motive. But like just filling in stuff is not something I particularly like. So if I'm completely honest, I don't think that I will ever do, or maybe I should not say that I won't ever do, because maybe I will, but right now I don't feel like a bigger full coverage project is something that I would be interested in doing. I think it's more fun to do like little motives. But this is the bookmark, Winter Villages by Vervaco. So, moving on from that, now we will talk about extraordinary birds, because this was supposed to be my focus project, as I said earlier, but yeah. This is a pattern that was a sow, as you probably all know. It's 181 stitches wide and 226 stitches high. And I have stitched this on 16 count blue white Aida that I have dyed myself. Yeah, and I will try to put up a picture of where it was in the video from last time. So this is how it's looking right now. So since last time, okay, I will try to I will have to hold it in a different way so I can read my notes. So since last time I have put in the peacock here, and also the greater Loforina, he's over here, and it's just the male right now. There is a female, but I have not stitched her yet. And also the branch that he's standing on is new. And I have also put in the back stitching of the hornbill, I think it's called. And I have also put in one of the lorikeets. Rainbow lorikeets is the right name for that. So for the peacock, I thought that he is a peacock. He needs sparkle. So I put in, for the back stitching, maybe I can, I don't know if it shows, but for the back stitching I've used some metallic thread. And it's, I will show you the threads in a minute, but so the gold thread that is in here is a DMC thread called light gold thread, and this was a thread that was included in a like kit that I bought secondhand. So I don't know if DMC light gold thread still exists or if it's maybe called something else. I know there is like a metallic thread from DMC that is called diamant or something, but I don't know if this one is the equivalent to the new one, or if this old one is just old and doesn't exist anymore. And I have also put in for the like blue back stitching, that is a Kreinik thread, and it's 029 in number 4. So for the green stitching, I tried to do metallic for that as well, Kreinik 850 in the size number 4, but I thought that was a bit too dark. It didn't show up as well as I wanted it to. So I ripped that out, and I just decided to go with the called for green for the green in the tail. But I think he sparkles a lot in real life, and I love him, and he's so fancy. Like, all of the birds are really beautiful, I think. So that's that about extraordinary birds. The next project that I have to show you is my fancy lady. This is Phoenix Queen by Bella Filipina, and she's 177 wide and 255 high. And I'm stitching her on 14 count Ada from DMC in the color Sandstorm. And when I was ironing this project for this video, I realized that I have done a huge mistake. I have oriented my fabric the wrong way. Yeah. So I will show you what I have done since you last saw this project, but I will have to start this one over. I will have to frog it, turn the fabric around so it's the right way up, and do it all over again. And I'm really mad at myself for doing this mistake, but yeah. It is what it is, right? So I have actually put the height of her, I have put like the width. So yeah. So instead of 255 high, it's 255 wide. Yeah, and I measured, because like you have margins, and I measured like the height of the way she's standing up right now, and it's not enough. So unfortunately I have to rip it all out and start over. Yay. So much fun. God, yeah. So this this fabric is really big, but not big enough in the orientation that I have put her. Okay, so when you first saw this, it was a small start, and I have just stitched, yeah, I have stitched part of the dress, and it's just the one DMC color. So you can see the flowiness of her dress, and I started in the middle because I find that easiest, but yeah. So I have not stitched a ton on this, but yeah. So I have put her in this direction, but it should be like this. So her top should be over here and not over here as I have, like, yeah. So I will have to start it all over again. But I really like the color, and it will be fun when more colors come in. But of course I have to start it over again before I can do that. But yeah, I think she will be very beautiful when she's the right way up. So that was the 3 whips from my last video. And in my last video I talked about some projects that I wanted to start. And I have started one of them, and it's Under the Mistletoe by Stitch with Coffee, and it's 117 high and 116 wide. It's done on 32 count country French linen in the color Latte by Witchelt Permin. Yeah, so it's a cute Christmas pattern with cats. And I will, when I get to the cats, I will make them look like my cats instead of like the called for pattern. Oh, I'm going to see if I put in this the right way. Okay, so here's how far I've gotten. So I have put in the top middle of the pattern. And the mistletoe is put in, some Christmas baubles, and then some candy canes, and a flower at the top. And I love the colors, I love the pattern, I think it's really beautiful. And I have also, because this pattern has a small amount of pearls, Mill Hill pearls, beads. Yeah, whatever. Beads is the name that I'm looking for from Mill Hill. And I have never done beading before. So I was so excited and wanted to try. So I actually put in the beads for the mistletoe. The rest of the beads in the pattern I think I will put in the very last, but I just wanted to try. And it was actually quite fun. Maybe I can bring it a bit closer so you can see the beads. There they are. Yeah. So I think that's going to be very beautiful when it's finished, and I'm very looking forward to stitching the cats. But I will work my way around like the wreath thing around it, and then I will do the cats at the very end. So that was actually all of my whips, and now I will move on to speaking about my plans for the rest of the year. So I think that for December I will put Extraordinary Birds a bit to the side. And I will focus on my winter and Christmas projects. So that is the project that I just showed you under the mistletoe. And also the bookmark. Because like we're in the season now and it's a bit cozy and it's Christmassy, and yeah, it just feels nice to stitch on something in season, right? I still want to finish Extraordinary Birds. That was my focus the last month, and this month I will focus on Christmas projects. Yeah, I will also focus on FFOing the Christmas tablecloth that I showed you in my last episode. That cloth was the very first cross-stitch project that I started. And it's a pattern from my grandma's stash. And I will put up a picture so you can see it. It's finished, but it's not FFO'd, and I really want to FFO it because I want to put it on my coffee table and be proud that I actually finished it, because that has been challenging. I also want to start, or maybe finish, because it's not a big pattern at all, Lola Crow's Tomte and the Yule Goat. And this was a bonus pattern from her Christmas Monsters Sal that she did last year. And Tomte and the Yule Goat is actually Swedish Christmas creatures. So that's what I want to start and maybe finish. It's only like 600 stitches, so I think I can do that. but I have a lot of other things also going on, so yeah. I will also, I will not say will, because I don't know if I will, but I would like to start the new release from Lola Crow. That is a very Bigfoot Christmas, and it's 3 ornaments with Bigfoot and his friends celebrating Christmas, and they're so cute, and I love them. So I want to do that. Yes. That was actually all I had for the stitching part, but I promised you a flip through of some books, so we will do that now. Be right back.